Hello, I'm Ray with another midweek message. It's that time again. 14 degrees centigrade, which is 57 Fahrenheit, 78% humidity, 1009 millibars on the barometer, and the flag is going mental with a wind, quite a wind from the west. We've had quite a few windy days recently. Oh, it's 7:30, by the way, in the morning. No, it's not, it's 6:30. I'm looking at the wrong clock. I've got one here set to GMT and one set to British summertime. That's to do with my shortwave listening, broadcast stations around the world. They all use GMT or UTC as it's called these days. So what's happening is the flag is going mad. A lot of wind, rain expected today. The sky is black. Yeah, a lot of rain expected today. It's the 3rd of June today. You'll be listening to this tomorrow, Wednesday, the 4th of June. And we are heading towards the longest day, which is the 21st of June. I don't know what happens in other parts of the world. Is it different? I've no idea. So our longest day is the 21st of June. And already I was awake at 4 o'clock this morning and it was daylight, almost daylight at 4 o'clock this morning. Not proper daylight. It was kind of twilight. I don't know what it's called. Not dusk, because that's the evening. What's the opposite to dusk? Anti-dusk. Oh dear, I've got my coffee. It's too early to be silly. Right, what are we doing? I've had an email. Hang on a minute, let me find it. This is from Joan. Hello, Joan. Hope you're listening. You'll remember I was banging on about double glazing in last Sunday's episode. Well, Joan says you had to wait 2.5 hours until this chap had finished, which is true. She says that's nothing. Our man was here 4 hours. 4 hours. Honestly, it nearly drove me insane. 2.5 hours. I could not do 4. She said he only went after 4 hours when her and her husband said, look, that's enough. We can't sit here any longer doing this. That's enough. You didn't say that you told him to get out or clear off, Joan, but I suppose you put it in a fairly sort of polite way, that you'd had enough and you had other things to do, no doubt. So that's amazing, 4 hours. And you'd go on to say that you didn't buy the double glazing unit that he was trying to sell you. It was for your lounge, wasn't it? You said you got a bay window. So that's interesting. 4 hours of his time banging on, wasting 4 hours of your time, and he didn't get a sale anyway. I like that. John from Rudgwick. Where's Rudgwick? I've heard of that. Is it Kent? I'll have to look. No, it's not Kent. I must look that up. John. Hello, John from Rudgwick. John says, think yourself lucky with your 2.5 hours. Our man was here over 3 hours. And John did actually buy the, whatever it was, the unit, the double glazed unit the chap was selling. He goes on to say that over 3 hours could have been condensed into half an hour. Same with me, John. 2.5 hours. We could have done the whole thing in half an hour. Go through the spec quickly, a quick measure up, get a price. What do you think of that price? No, I'll pay half that or whatever. Job done. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, let's move away from double glazing. Rudgwick, that's up near Horsham. That's about, 20, 30 miles north of me. Is it 30 miles? No, probably 20, 15 miles north of me. Rudgwick, excellent. Hope the weather's all right up there. Now then, knives. When I was young, I've mentioned this before, us kids, early teens, we all had what we called a sheath knife, which was in a sheath, a leather sheath, which you could fix to your belt, your sort of trouser belt. And they were great. We'd go over the woods and we'd whittle sticks and things, and we'd make catapult. Take a piece of a tree branch, you find bits of branch all over the ground in the woods. Take a Y-shaped piece of wood for the catapult, carve it all out with your knife, make it really good. And we'd always carry big bits of elastic and pieces of leather around with us, to make the catapult. This friend of mine made a huge catapult out of a huge Y-piece, massive piece of elastic, and he could fire rocks, well, not rocks with it, but huge stones with it. Talk about dangerous. And one friend of mine, he got this piece of flint, bashed him in the arm, and he had this massive cut. He had to go to the hospital and have stitches. I don't know how it happened, but this lad fired this huge piece of flint and it just hit this other lad's arm. But it was all good fun. He was all right. He said it didn't hurt. I don't know why it didn't hurt. There was blood everywhere. But dangerous. Imagine that in your eye, in your face somewhere. Highly dangerous. But that's what it was like back then. Kids, of 12, 13, going around the woods with very sharp knives, carving sticks and mucking about with very dangerous times, but great fun. And of course, just about every lad, and some girls, I suppose, they had a penknife. Always had a penknife in your pocket. in your blazer pocket when you went to school. You know, we didn't stab each other with them. We didn't use knives for things like that. A pen knife was useful, sharpening your pencil. I remember sharpening my pencil in the classroom with my pen knife. We all did that. The teachers knew. The teachers had a hand cranked sharpener on their desk. You know, we weren't allowed to use that because I remember one lad, he's sharpening his pencil and he was going round and round, whir, 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 feeding the pencil in till there was no pencil left. It was like an inch long. He got told off. We weren't allowed to use it after that because one or two of the other kids had messed about. As you do when you're a kid. It's great fun, isn't it? We've still got the gas men out in the street. It's been over 2 months now. They had a pneumatic drill on my neighbour's driveway the other day, digging up his drive. This drill going. That's why I've decided to record the podcast a little bit early. Well, I always record them fairly early, but I wanted to get in before they all turn up and start up their compressor and pneumatic drills and other machinery. It's so noisy out there during the day. And I think they're going to start any minute. What's the time now? Yeah, they're going to start any minute. They're all out there mulling about, drinking tea. British workmen always drink tea, don't they? By the gallon. It's not mulling about, is it? It's milling about. What is it? Oh, I don't know. Hanging about. A huge lorry's just turned up. I don't think they're allowed to start before 8 o'clock, and it is now 8:15. I've been out in the garden mucking about with various things, and I've popped back up here with another cup of coffee, so the time's gone on. I should have finished the podcast before they turned up. Not to worry. We also used to fire marbles. Who remembers marbles? They were great, weren't they? Those little glass balls. We used to fire those with our catapults. And of course, if it hit something hard enough, the marble would shatter. You got glass everywhere. The things we did. I just loved it all, though. I loved going... Well, I won't go on about the woods. I nearly mentioned the woods then. I'm making our garden not into the woods because the garden isn't big enough. But what I'm trying to do is a lot of plants everywhere, a lot of shrubs that grow quite tall. We've got a fig tree. We've got our pergola or pergola, whatever you call it. I don't know what it is. It's a wooden thing with a clear plastic roof and honeysuckle and Boston ivy growing all over it. So you're really secluded. You can sit in there and it's like being in the woods. I love it. I've just bought a cat scarer. You know the ultrasonic cat scarer things? They send out very, very high frequency noise to get rid of cats. We've got one cat in particular. He comes into the garden every night, sits by the pond, waiting for the frogs to appear because the frogs come out at night. We found a dead one on the patio a little while ago, and I don't mind cats, but I don't want them killing the frogs. So I've put this cat scarer ultrasonic thing there, and it was the first trial last night, and the cat didn't turn up. So whether he heard the ultrasonic screeching or whatever it does, I don't know. But he didn't turn up last night, and I'm pretty sure he's there every night because I've got the trail cam out there, and every morning there he is on video. That's enough of that. You don't want to know about cats, do you? My mum-in-law gave me a book, The Highway Code, reproductions of Highway Code booklets from the 30s, 40s and 50s. It says here, the first pedestrian killed. August 1896, Bridget Driscoll was the first pedestrian in Britain to be killed by a motor car. She was on her way to a dancing display at Crystal Palace when she was run over. At the inquest into her death, a witness claimed Bridget had been startled by the car and froze as it approached at a speed of at least 4 miles an hour. Crikey. Apparently the driver was accused of fiddling with the engine to make the car run at 8 miles an hour. An expert proved this to have been impossible. So they couldn't do 8 miles an hour. Crikey, that really was speeding. Under the Motor Car Act of 1903, all vehicles had to be officially registered and had to display their registration marks in the form of licence plates in a prominent position. The annual registration fee was £1 for a car and 5 shillings for a motorcycle. Around the same time, the driving licence was introduced. It's a really good little booklet, so thanks, Mum-in-law, I'm pleased with that. Interesting reading the rules of the road back in 1931 and later on, of course. Initially, I don't think you needed a driving licence or anything. You just get a car and drive it. Mind you, some people do that today, don't they? OK, that's enough from me. Nice chatting to you as always. I shall see you on Sunday, hopefully, unless something crops up to knock me off course. Be good, be bad, don't get caught if you're bad, and all that rubbish. I don't know why I say that every week. Why do I say that twice a week? Raise rants at protonmail.com if you want to say anything. Raise rants, all one word, at protonmail.com. Look after yourselves, and I shall see you on Sunday. Bye-bye for now.